Hello, what's up YouTube? Ronix with yet another tutorial, and in this tutorial I'll show you guys how to best use the mixer brush tool for skin retouching in Photoshop. So basically this tutorial is for those who have issues using the mixer brush tool and those who always ask me where to mix and where not to mix, because in most of my tutorials I'll be mentioning you have to mix the highlights alone, the midtones alone, and the shadows alone. So that is going to be handling that very issue, and also it is also going to be emphasizing more on how to set up and apply the mixer brush tool in order to retain the textures in all your images. So using a mixer brush tool, you have to first of all know the radius for your images, because that is going to determine the output of your mixer brush tool in Photoshop as you're trying to blend or even out the skin tones in the images. So let me show you guys what we're going to do for this very image in just Photoshop. So let's first of all merge these layers, because I had to remove the blemishes from this image. And for those interested, you can check the link right above here about my tutorials about how to remove blemishes from your images in just Photoshop. So let me first of all merge these layers by simply hitting Shift Command E to merge these layers. So this is basically not going to be an in-depth tutorial. It is going to be a tutorial where I'm going to be using the action for frequency separation to show you guys the radius method, because I don't want this to be a very long tutorial. So the use of a mixer brush tool is basically going to determine or depend on the radius you put when you're applying your frequency separation action or processes in Photoshop. So let me show you guys what I'm trying to mean by this. So you can see we have a 16-bit image right here. So I'm going to come in my actions and I'm going to play my 16-bit frequency separation action. So here is where you have to pay maximum attention. So I've selected it and I'm just going to come and I'm going to play my 16-bit action. And when it reaches this step, this is where you have to determine the radius for your image. You can see, if at all we zoom in this particular area of the image, I think this is okay. So if at all I zoom in, you have to look for the area that seems to have more skin textures than the rest of the image. So when you get to that area after zooming in, so you can click into this tiny box to look for an area just like that. Click, so left click, you'll get the hand tool and you can move to the area you feel like has more details of the skin. So down here we have the radius, so make sure you start moving this radius gradually. So just move it gradually until a point when these textures are just starting to disappear. So you shouldn't also cramp this radius, because different cameras have different sharpness in the images and different megapixels. So you may find some cameras produce softer images than others. That's why you don't have to cramp this radius. So come and move this up to that point when or where the textures in the image are starting to get lost. So I think at around 3, I think is a really nice radius for this part of the image. So just come and hit OK, and the action is going to play. And for those interested in my actions and how I create my or record my actions, I'm going to put the link still for you guys above here so that you can learn about how I create and save my actions. So this is my frequency separation action right here, or the group, and you can see I have a black and white layer inside of my frequency separation group. And if at all you don't have this black and white layer, I'm just going to select it and I'm just going to delete it. If at all you don't have it and you just have a plain frequency separation action or group, you can select the high frequency layer or the layer containing the textures, and after it has been selected, just come down here to the adjustments and click on black and white, and you'll have a black and white layer inside of your frequency separation group. But this is not enough. You can simply come to the red channel and simply move it towards the left. Click on it and move this towards the left hand side up to a point when you're looking at the uneven skin tones in the image. So just come and close that. So after you have ensured that, remember we're going to be dealing with the skin tones. So you have to select that layer that is going to be containing the skin tones in this particular image, or the colors, and that is the low frequency layer. So after you have selected it, come to the brushes. You can come under the brushes and you can now set up your mixer brush tool. So you can right click under the brushes for newer versions of Photoshop and look for your mixer brush tool, and if at all you have an older version of Photoshop, you can find your mixer brush tool when you right click right here and you get to the mixer brush tool. So for my mixer brush tool, it is just under the brushes and you can just select it. So up here we have where you have to set up your mixer brush tool in order to produce the best results for you. So if at all I first of all turn off the black and white layer, so you can see these are the settings for the mixer brush tool, and when you come right here we have load the brush after each and every stroke, and we have clean brush. So you have to ensure that the brush is clean. The brush you're using has to be clean because in the parts of the image you are going to be dealing with way different colors and tones in all different tonal variations in a particular image. So just come and make sure the brush is clean. So click down here and make sure it is a clean brush. So right here we have two options. The very first option is load the brush after each and every stroke, and the second option is clean the brush after each and every stroke. So for example, if at all I selected this and I had to paint right here, you're going to notice that it's going to take our settings back to the default, meaning the brush is already going to be loaded. So if at all I painted right here, you're going to notice that it's going to carry this color and paint it right here. You can see it has just copied color from this area and it has painted it right to this very area, which we don't want to happen to the images. So I'm just going to undo that. Let me hope that I don't have anything left. So I'm just going to close that. So we are going to come back and make sure it is a clean brush. So we're going to deselect the first option, and we are going to make sure that the brush is automatically cleaned after each and every stroke to avoid carrying color from one area of an image to another area of the image. So make sure you select this particular area. So when you are trying to blend the skin tones or even out the skin tones, the brush is going to be automatically cleaned by Photoshop. It's like when we are doing painting and we want to apply a given, maybe I don't know what I should say. If at all you want to apply a darker color on a lighter area, you have to clean that brush so that it is fresh and clean, and you can now apply it on a different area that has maybe a different or lighter color or darker color for that case. So after you have selected this, make sure you come now to the wetness. So this is where the magic is going to take place in this image. So come under the wetness and make sure the wetness is really low. Make it as low as possible, because if at all I have a wetness of 100, it means the brush is going to be really wet and it's going to be containing so much water in it. So if at all I came and painted here, you can see that the effect is really too much in this particular image, and we don't want the effect to be so much, because it's going to be giving us uneven results or a plastic kind of look for this image. So I'm just going to undo that, Command Z to undo that. So just come and make sure the wetness is, make sure it is below 9 always. I don't know for other retouchers, some people prefer to go with settings of around 30, 30, 30, but I prefer to keep my wetness all the way down to around 9%. And after doing that, I usually use a load of 75 because I don't want the brush to be overloaded for this case. And the mix is 90 because I want to harmonize the colors even more when I'm trying to even them out, and a flow of 100 because I want the brush to give me the best results. So we have this very last option, which is, some people may be having the smoothing option. So make sure smoothing is it is deactivated, and make sure now you have this option right here, sample all layers. So by sample all layers, we are telling Photoshop, you know what, if at all you're trying to even out the skin tones, always and always make sure you only work on a particular area, or you can sample details from other layers in the layers panel. So I'm just going to come right here, and I'm going to come back right here because I want to reset everything. So make sure you don't check sample all layers, because when you check sample all layers, it is going to be sampling textures and painting them into the image. So for example, if at all I check here and I start painting on the image, you can see it is also adding textures or details to the image. So we only want to work with the colors and the skin tones in this particular image. So I'm just going to undo that and check my history panel. So here we are right now. So we are done setting the mixer brush tool. So make sure sample all layers is not checked, because we only want to work on the layer containing the colors and the skin tones in this particular image. And when you're done doing so, I always advise to put on a black and white layer, because it's going to be showing the uneven skin tones or the colors in the image. So for the cases of my previous tutorials, I always ensure to tell you guys that when you're blending, you blend the midtones alone, the highlights alone, and the shadows alone. So for most cases, you may not be able to notice that unevenness in the skin tones like we have right here. And if at all I turn off the black and white, you can see you can't notice the unevenness in the skin tones quite well. I'm not saying like all of us are not going to be noticing those uneven skin tones. A few of us may not be noticing those uneven skin tones in the image. So I would advise that you always put this on. And when you're done doing so, you can either increase on the size of the mixer brush tool by using the brackets right after the P button, or the P key, P for pen or P for pineapple. And you can now increase on the size by using those brackets after that button. And now you can simply left click on the image. So you hold down the left click button and start painting on the image just like that. And as you're doing so, you can now make sure that you paint on those areas that have almost the same color. For example, in this black and white layer, you can see what we have right now. So when you turn this off and we turn on the before and after, you can see that we have gotten rid of those uneven skin tones in those particular areas. So if at all you feel like you're now going to start blending a confusing area, you can turn off the black and white, but always and always make sure that you have the low frequency layer selected. And now you can come and continue evening out those skin tones just like that. So just come and continue evening them out just like that, and you can come back and turn this on to see those areas you may not be able to harmonize or even out in that particular image or those particular areas. So just come and even out those particular areas in the image. So I think you can see how effective the mixer brush tool is in the retouching process. Remember, we are retaining the textures, but as well working on the colors in this image. So turn this off and see the before and after. So far you can see the before after, and you can see now we have this kind of midtones right here. Just come and even those midtones, and when you come to, let me say, this border right here, let me put the black and white layer on. Just come and try to harmonize that midpoint by using a smaller brush, and just make sure that you have that very nice transition in the skin tones in that particular bordering area of maybe the midtones and the highlights, or maybe the shadows and the highlights in a particular image. So I think that is okay. So you can continue doing this, and check on your progress before and after, you can see that we still have the original textures in the image, and we are still having that natural color in a particular image. So this is how best to work with the mixer brush tool. And when you're done doing so with the mixer brush tool, you can simply come and get the lasso tool to fine-tune the image even more and fine-tune those areas you may have missed out when you're trying to use the mixer brush tool to even out or blend the skin tones in a particular image. And the way to do this, select your lasso tool, come to the feathering and select around 20 to 22 pixels and come and make a selection. But still, as you're making the selection, always and always ensure that you are on your low frequency layer. And after making that selection, you can come back to filter, come to blur, and come to Gaussian blur. And now you can move this radius up to a point when you're getting a nice skin textures in the image. So we're just going to move this up to that nice and sweet point. So I think at around 9.1 it is really nice and blending. So just come and you can come and make another selection. Simply right click and come to Gaussian blur, and if at all you feel the effect is too much for your liking, you can simply hit shift command F or shift control F to reduce on the opacity of the effect of the Gaussian blur on that area. So that is how to use the lasso tool to fine-tune the image even more after using the mixer brush tool to blend or even out the skin tones of a particular image. So you can just right click and apply the Gaussian blur to those areas. So let's see the before and after for this image. You can see the before after. So this has been a tutorial of how to best use and set up your mixer brush tool for skin retouching in Photoshop. And if at all you have loved this tutorial, don't forget to like this video and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If at all you have landed to this channel for the very first time, I'm Ronix from Ronix Photography. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in yet another tutorial on this channel. Don't forget to keep practicing and keep creating.